Hey, hello. Today is Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. It's a new year, and I have my glass of water. Do you have your water? Look, it's got the eagles on it. Anyway. So, sorry I haven't made a video in a few days, but I've been a little depressed. And I think that, I realized one of the reasons I get depressed right around the beginning of January is because, see, I normally try to not eat a lot of sugars and stuff like that, and then at Christmas and New Year's, I'm eating candy and cookies and stuff. So as I'm stopping eating that, like, my blood sugar lowers. This is just what I think is happening. I could be wrong. I don't know. Plus, then you think about stuff from last year. There were good things and bad things for last year. So this is another thing. I argue back and forth in my brain. I argued back and forth in my brain about whether I should do a year in review like I usually do. And I wasn't going to do it, because there was some depressing things last year, but I also had some good things happen too, so I'm gonna do it. Okay, so last year my word for the year was wholeness. I have not picked a word for this year, but anyway, I wanted to do more home improvements. I wanted to finish up the craft room. I wanted to stick to my food plan. I did finish up the craft room. I mostly stuck to my food plan. Did we do home improvements? Well, we had something fixed on the heater. We had the heater fixed. We had the heating fixed. I don't think we had, like, we went and we had stuff priced out for, like, getting a new door on the front of the house and things like this, but we never had that done because when the lockdown happened, they started saying they didn't know when they would be able to send people out and stuff. In the beginning of the year, that stuff was happening, so we kind of just skipped all that, My channel goals for last year were, I wasn't going to worry about COPPA. Remember COPPA? I don't think anybody's worrying about it right now. Although I don't know if you noticed, but towards the end of last year, YouTube decided they were going to start putting ads on some channels and sometimes just individual videos of channels that didn't already have monetization, and that those channels weren't going to get any money. So say you didn't meet the monetization thing. So there's a thing. There's two videos I have that get hits every day. One of them gets so many hits it's embarrassing. I don't even want to say what the video is, but it gets a lot of hits. So say they decided, because that video gets so many hits, they want to put ads on it. They can put ads on it now. I won't get any of the revenue from it. Probably wouldn't be enough for me to get anyway. So this is like a new policy that they put in at the end of the year. I was going to do state park videos. That never happened because at first they closed the state parks in Pennsylvania. I don't know. They opened them again, but I don't know what the current thing is. And I'd really like to work on doing this state parks this year, but we'll see what happens. And I was going to do more recipes, and I did do that. One of my other goals was to read 12 books. And the reason I picked only 12 is because in the previous years, I had been using Goodreads for many years, and it was starting to stress me out because I would keep increasing the amount of books I read, which I guess is a good thing, but I see some people read them. Like, someone I know reads 100 books a year, and like at the end of December, they're trying to squish all the books in, and sometimes like they're listening at they're listening at 2 and 3 times speed on audiobooks and stuff. And that's not what reading is about for me. I like to enjoy the book, you know. So I cut it back to 12. Also, I was getting stressed out I overthink things. I was getting stressed out using Goodreads because it felt like everybody knows what books you're reading. Okay, so you feel like you're being judged. Okay, sure, you're going to read some things that are classics and are challenging, but you're also going to read some stupid books too because you just want to read some stupid books. It's like when you watch TV. You're not always watching something interesting. Sometimes you're watching people throwing chairs at each other or something. The brain is a strange thing, you know. Anyway, I only read 8 books last year, and 2 of them I didn't finish. And I didn't used to do this. So this is something at least for me as I gotten older. I used to finish every book I started. But several years ago, I realized I only have a certain amount of time. If I'm not enjoying the book, I'm going to stop reading it. Now, I try to give it as much time as possible. But if I'm really not enjoying it, I stop reading it. I don't have to feel like I completed it, you know. And I know I wrote some stuff down. Where's the stuff I wrote? Oh, here it is. Da, da, da. This past year, here's some things that happened this past year. I improved my walking. So if you know me, if you've been watching for a couple years, you know that a few years ago I walked with a cane. That's because I have psoriatic arthritis and I have damage to 2 of my joints, which makes it difficult for me to walk. But my doctor had me start wearing hiking boots. Let me show you my hiking boots. So this stabilizes my ankle pretty good. And at the beginning of last year, I could only walk around, like, at once. I'm not talking about cumulatively. Like, I was trying to improve how much I could walk at one time without having to stop. I could only walk around my yard 1 or 2 times. By the end of last year, I got to 5 times around the yard. So I'd like to increase that some more this coming year. I gained a little weight last year. I gained 10 pounds, which the previous year I'd lost 40 pounds. So I would like to get rid of some of that. Last year I celebrated 3 years of vlogging, and I had like a little silly video I made. I did at-home activities for some of my vlogs. I did dressed up for coffee with my sister. Let's have a dance party. I don't know if you remember that. Oktoberfest at home. And let's have a slumber party. My dog Sonny passed last year. He was 15 years old. We had almost a week where the power went out. So, I mean, I think it was more like 3 or 4 days. So Bob and I had to stay at a hotel, and that was in the middle of the shutdown. So not only that, there was an apartment building nearby that had burned down. So there were all the local hotels had the Red Cross had people at all the local hotels. The hotels were crowded, is what I'm trying to say. And we're trying to stay distanced and stuff. And yeah, it was no fun staying at the hotel. I revealed my collection of television remotes this past year. I did my favorite movies of 2019. I don't know if I'm going to do that this year for last year, because maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. I'm really worried about the movie industry, you know. I love to see movies at the theaters, and I don't know if you know what's going on. There's a lot of stuff going on that I don't have quite the intelligence to go into, but with some of the production companies are trying to sell their movie or have their movies come out on streaming services, and because of the way a lot of contracts are written up, it has to do with box office numbers for people to get the back end of their pay, people that worked on the movie, and there are no box office numbers when you go to streaming. I don't know. It's going to be a crazy year. I don't know how the movies are going to end up. All that is still up in the air, you know. I did a video where I made a scarecrow last year, and I did a video where I made a piñata. So a lot of these reviews of last year has to do with making videos. So we've all been, you know, shut down in our house and stuff like that. But the thing that I'm happy about for last year is that I increased my walking. So I don't know. I might do a video talking about my goals for this year. I haven't decided, but I'm just glad I hopped back in and I'm on saying hello to everybody. I hope that you're having a good year so far. It can only get better, right? Should I say that? I don't know if I should say that, because last year I said, in the beginning of 2020, I said, hopefully this year will be better than last year, because I don't remember, but there was stuff about 2019 that was not good for me, personally. But, anyway, so it's windy outside. There's no snow here in southeastern Pennsylvania. And I still have my Christmas stuff up, so I'm probably going to work on that today, getting that taken down. I'm going to try and store those items in the den instead, and I need to clean the den, and you're not going to see the den because it is a big mess. Big mess. And I think tonight we're going to have fish for dinner. So, and I started watching, they have the new episodes of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. It's going to be the last season on Netflix, so I started watching that the other day. And, yeah. So, I hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.